Let me start by asking you both about some comments, very important comments that Secretary of Defense Gates has made with respect to more attention being given to what he refers to as the civilian instruments of national security. And he says that unless this country invests in development and diplomacy initiatives, and unless it has appropriate levels of staffing and funding, the military increasingly is going to be called upon to do these duties. What kind of challenge is that for the next president?
It's a budget challenge, it's a resource challenge, but it's also a leadership challenge. There are a lot of critical things happening in this 21st century. We're now 20 years since the end of the Cold War, and never has the leadership of the United States been as critical in this phase.
Have we made the shift?
Well, we're right in the middle of it. And
Donald Rumsfeld talked about transformation.
Well, I think our men and women of the armed forces of the United States are just, the greatest natural resource we have in terms of being out there in the field, working with people, sometimes building schools, sometimes building hospitals. But one of the things we notice is that our foreign policy needs more tools: economic assistance, cultural exchange, educational opportunities. And right now we're putting this entire burden on our military men and women, and they need help.
So what does the next president need to do?
Well, he needs to first not let go of what we have learned. We learned it once in Vietnam that nation building has to be part of the role of effective counterinsurgency. So there does have to be a trained military and doctrine that allows them to build roads, bridges, fix schools. However, it is broader than that, as Rudy has said. We have to have more resources going into the civilian side that can tackle things like education, healthcare, so forth, and infrastructure, roads, things that private investors won't do. All of this, however, has to be better integrated and have enough resources. We put much too little into these really root causes of conflict. If you have poverty, disease, and so forth, it won't be long before you have a conflict. Preventing it requires more resources and better trained people.